Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with everyone here. I have never done a video like this before. Now, I am big in the Ponytown community when it comes to YouTube and everything like that, so I have made other Ponytown videos in the past, but I've never made a video on someone else before, and today that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about Big Mama Eternal. So Big Mama Eternal, if you don't know, is a YouTuber on YouTube who creates Ponytown and Roblox videos. Now today we're going to be talking about one of these Ponytown-ish videos. In particular, we're going to be talking about Furry High School, the new show that she's trying to create on YouTube. Now this is something that I want to mention real quick. It's not necessarily important, and I don't want you to think that I'm biased or anything like that, but when I originally saw this on YouTube, when I saw this on my feed, I was immediately like, damn it. I was immediately upset because I myself had planned to do something similar to this. It wasn't going to have anything to do with school or anything like that, but it was going to be a story made entirely in Ponytown. Now, this story wasn't going to have anything to do with high school, like I said, but because Eternal made a story in Ponytown first, I kind of sat on that idea. I kind of put that idea on the shelf and kind of just said to myself, you know, if I do it, I'm going to look like a Big Mama Eternal ripoff, and I don't want that. I don't want to see those comments. I don't want to see that comparison because I don't want to be compared to this person because I think my content is very different from hers, even though we both do Ponytown. But I just wanted to kind of just explain that right here, right off the bat, because I came into this being a little bit upset, and then I watched it and I was no longer upset because it wasn't that good. But today we're going to be talking about this the pilot episode, and we're going to be going on from we're going to go from there. We're going to see how bad this really is. So right off the bat, I do want to say that the intro is actually really good. I love the intro for this. I think it's done really well. You have all the students move into the classroom while the bell rings and everything like that, and you know you have the logo and everything like that, which is a beautiful logo, by the way. And then you have the characters move in and everything like that with the music and everything. It's just a good intro. It's a solid intro. I love it. I hope they don't change it. But then you have this character here, Wendy. She comes in last. Obviously, Eternal is going to be the main character, right? Obviously, Eternal is the main character. If I came to this and I saw it on YouTube or something like that, I don't know who Eternal is. Let's say I don't know who Eternal is, and I come to this video not knowing anything about Eternal or anything like that. I'm going to think Wendy's important. I'm going to think this character that came in last is going to be important. Because it is the very first thing that you show your audience. It's the very first thing that you tell your audience. And everything. By the way, before we do continue, I want to mention... Before we do continue, I want to mention that I've written a lot of books, so I think I'm qualified to kind of critique the writing and everything like that. And I gotta say, having this moment is funny and everything like that, but having this be the first character that we get introduced to is a little bit weird. I don't like that because it kind of makes it seem like, okay, this character might be significant or important in some way. Maybe it's going to be the friend of the main character, or maybe it is the main character itself. Change that up. I think they should have moved this till after a little bit of introduction and everything like that. That way she's actually super late because, you know, the intro kind of fades into the actual video itself, so it kind of seems like she was on time, like right on time, not late. So it kind of, that in addition to, you know, making this the first thing we get introduced to is a little bit weird. And then she says that you're late and asks for an explanation.
What do you mean?
I can't understand a word she's saying. Now, when I first saw this, I laughed because it was funny because I couldn't understand what she was saying. But then now I laugh because it's so bad. I can't understand what she's saying, and I guess that's probably the character because later on she kind of talks and it's kind of hard to understand what she's saying again, and she's very weird. I don't know. It is something that I think I need to mention. Something that I think is fair to mention.
Class, you know what this reminds me of? A lesson that we're going to be talking about today.
Miss Balls.
Yes, dear?
What is this topic that we're going to be talking about? So
this part here, I don't understand it. This is really bad writing. This really irritates me a lot when I see this. Whenever I see this in any kind of story or anything like that. This whole line that Eternal had was completely unnecessary, and as a result made some of the teacher's lines unnecessary as well. The teacher was literally about to say what the lesson they were going to learn today was, what she was about to teach the students and everything like that, and Eternal just interrupts saying, hey, Miss Balls, what are we going to learn today? First off, the dialogue is a little bit bad, but apart from that, the fact that she interrupts the teacher asking what the teacher is about to say is so bad. Just don't do that. Please don't do that. That's such bad writing. It's unnecessary. You could have removed that, and no one would have missed it. Even you, probably, because it's just unnecessary. So I don't know why you included it. It's so weird to me.
Dax, and he's part of the weirdos.
Exactly. Like, there's literally no one.
And like now the teacher is teaching about donut sausage. Like,
Well, that's because
How was your winter break?
Okay, this part's a little bit weird too, just because Eternal seems like she's mid-sentence, or like she's, you know, gonna continue talking, like she hasn't finished her point or anything like that, and it just immediately cuts to the rival character Nicole and her friend. And I just don't understand why you decided to do this cut. It's so weird. You just immediately cut away from Eternal, which is your main character, and you go to these characters, and they talk for a little bit, and then that's pretty much it.
as I was continuing about the amazing life of donut sausage.
anyways, I really
Okay, so you had a cut right here. There was a cut that you did. You cut to this character sitting and standing up with these heart and blushes eyes and everything like that. Why? Why did you cut to this? This should have been removed in the final product as well. It's completely unnecessary. You could have just removed it and no one would have known the difference. It wouldn't have mattered. It would have probably made the product better overall. Remove this. Why is this in there? It makes no sense. It seems like it was like leftover footage or something like that and you accidentally left it in or something. It's so weird. I don't understand.
I really don't like Nicole at all, and like how she looks and how she treated me in the past. She literally did so much wrong to me, and she acts like she's so much better than everyone else.
Okay, so this part, Eternal says, I don't really like Nicole at all. And just how she looks, how she stole my hairstyle, and she's been so mean to me in the past. I can't do this at this rate. That's terrible. That's honestly terrible. Why did you tell us this? I get that you want to, like, explain the rivalry and everything like that, but the way you introduce this whole rival situation is so bad. It is literally so bad the way you introduced it. This is a classic example of showing and telling, you know, the difference between those two. You told us this rival existed instead of showing us that this rivalry existed. You could have very easily just ignored this and did something else where maybe she did a spitball at her, or maybe maybe you say how, like, oh, she copied my hairstyle after the winter break because she saw it on social media, or she copied my hairstyle because whatever reason. You could have included the stole a hairstyle thing and maybe mentioned how it must have happened over winter break. She could have just said something like, why is Nicole stealing my hairstyle right now, or something like that. I hate that, you know, something like that. You know, you could have done that instead, and you could have showed us a little bit more of the rivalry as the story went on, instead of just showing us this flashback and telling us that rival exists. It's just done bad. It's done so bad. I don't know why you decided to introduce the rivalry this way, but again, I can only assume that you're not much of a writer. I digress. Let's continue.
Doing donut sausage.
This is the final straw. Last time I did this to a guy, I got in trouble. I got sent to the principal's office. I can't believe this.
Okay, so this part here, Eternal is freaking out because of something that Nicole did, but we don't get to see what Nicole did. She literally is freaking out about something that Nicole didn't do. Like, obviously she had to have done it for Eternal to freak out like this, but we didn't get to see what Nicole did to cause this freak out. All we got to see was half a second of you know, Nicole standing up and walking over to Toxic and then winking, and that's all we got to see. We didn't get to see what she's freaking out about, which is how last time she went to a character, or went to a person and did this, which this is booping another character. She got in trouble, got sent to the principal's office. That's what she's freaking out about. But she's also freaking out that Nicole is getting away with doing the exact same thing, when in fact Nicole isn't doing that exact same thing. She's just not. She went up to a character and winked at them, or just looked at the character and winked at them. She didn't do anything. And Eternal was having a mental breakdown over this. So fix that. You know, show us what Nicole did, because what you're doing right now, so far I'm like 3 minutes into the video, and I don't like Eternal. I don't like the character. The character looks like a bad person. She literally just, screams about how Nicole is a bad person, but all we've gotten to see so far is how Eternal is, being mean to other characters by, like having this mental breakdown, not mental breakdown, but like freaking out about this character doing something that she didn't do, and it's not making her Eternal look like a good character. It's making her look kind of bad. It's just not a good look for the character. So fix that. That was such a weird thing. That should have been something that you looked at really carefully, because Nicole didn't do anything. She literally didn't do anything, and you're freaking out about it. So fix that. That was bad. That was terrible. Fix that, please.
Well, I just told you it was good for learning. So I looked.
Okay. For like 5 seconds, the teacher just suddenly changes the way they talk for no reason. So if you're confused, here's what happened. Eternal got sent to the principal's office for, having that complete breakdown, meltdown, whatever. And so she gets sent to the principal's office. She explains that Mrs. Balls was teaching them about donut sausages, and the principal is freaking out, so he decides to go back to the classroom, dismiss the classroom, and bring the teacher to the principal's office. And the teacher is trying to explain why she was trying to teach them donut sausages. And her voice doesn't change, but the way she talks changes for like 5 to 10 seconds right here for no reason at all. As the director, Eternal, you should have stepped in and said, hey, redo that line, because why did you talk like that? That makes no sense. You're not a teenager, you're a grown adult teaching a classroom. No one talks like that. I wouldn't even assume teenagers talk like that, but maybe in this universe they do. I don't know. But that was so bad. Please fix that. Please don't ever have a character just like talk like that ever again for any reason at all, because so far your established characters have not talked like that, and it's so jarring to suddenly see the character talk differently.
Yeah.
Weird girl.
Hi, Toxic. So I just wanted to say you're impersonating my boyfriend because...
Okay, right here. So, obviously, all the students are at, like, lunch now, I guess. And they're, like, talking, doing this, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then this weird windy girl comes up to the new kid and says that she stole his hat, blah, 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 blah. They're talking, they're trying to explain things and talk things, maybe make a couple of jokes. But Nicole is in the way, Wendy's in the way, and Toxic is in the way. They're all in the same spot. They're literally all sitting in the same spot, and they stay that way through that entire scene. Nicole is just standing there for absolutely no reason. Move her, remove her from the scene, have her stand somewhere else, sit somewhere else, because she's just standing there for no reason. You can clearly tell that Eternal probably instructed the characters to get into position to wait for their next line, or something. Maybe the characters are waiting in position on their own free will, but they're just waiting in position for their next line. And because they're all in the same spot, because all these things happen in the same spot, you have this, where you have a very blurry, zoomed in image of Wendy trying to talk, because that's the only way we can tell who's talking, is if you zoom in really close. And it just looks bad, because even with this, it's so jarring, I can't really tell what's going on. Next time, please, just don't let your characters stand all in the same spot, even if they eventually move to that spot. Don't have them standing in the same spot, because that gets way too confusing, especially since you can't normally tell who's talking anyway. So that's kind of my last critique of this episode, is that for this entire lunchroom scene, they're all kind of in the same spot. You can't really tell what's going on. The characters are arguing and stuff like that, and it's hard to follow, because everyone's in the same spot for some reason, and it kind of makes sense that, that there's a crowd around them, because obviously this fighting is going on, and you want them to kind of, have this fight and everything like that, because obviously if there's a fight going on, a lot of people are going to come to that fight. They're going to crowd around and kind of watch and everything like that, maybe egg it on, who knows. And in this situation, you just kind of had them all standing in the same spot. And I think there's actually a point in this where one of the characters literally just yells, "Move out of the way," or "Move, get out of here," or something like that. And I feel like that was real. I feel like that was a real line that one of the characters tried to tell the actual person, "Hey, move, because you're in the way of this scene." And they just kind of accidentally left it in, or they left it in because it was funny. I don't know, but this whole fight here that they have in the cafeteria is just a little bit weird. They're all in the same spot. That's something that you need to fix going forward when you go to the third episode, because she made a sequel to this. When you make the third episode, make sure they're not all standing in the same spot. please just make sure they're not all standing in the same spot. Make sure none of the characters are like suddenly change the way they talk out of nowhere. That sort of thing. It's good, I guess. It's okay. There's a couple things that I liked. I liked the principal. I think his acting was good. I think his lines were good. He felt believable. But the sound overall is good. I mean, not necessarily the sound when the characters are talking. The voice acting is a little bit bad because it seems like she had everyone that is part of this project in a Discord call, and they were just trying to, you know, talk and record everything through a Discord call. And because of that, you get this distortion and stuff like that that can happen with certain lines and everything like that. And I think that's what happened to some of these lines, because some of the lines feel, not necessarily that the lines themselves are bad, but the lines themselves sound bad because the audio is all distorted because you record it through Discord instead of just having them record their lines and send it to you. Which, I guess, doing it through Discord's fine too, but if you have that distortion, maybe try and redo, you know, maybe try to make another take, you know, maybe be like, okay, that line got all messed up, it got all distorted, let's redo that. You know, you could do something like that. It's good, the sound is good. I love the background music, the background chatter and everything like that. You did good with the sound and everything like that, which for some reason you didn't do as good in the second episode, but maybe we'll talk about that soon. As for advice to help you with this, when you want characters to talk, instead of just having their mouth stay open, there is a way to actually make it look like a character's talking. If you equip an emote to, if you equip two, all you need is 2 emotes. Equip a mouth closed emote and a mouth open emote. And then set them to your hotkey so you can press 4 and 5 or 1 and 2, and then just press 1 and 2 back and forth, and it will look like your character's talking. I think that's something that you need to look into and try and do for the 3rd episode, because in the 2nd episode you didn't do it either. The 2nd episode you had their mouths open and everything like that. So for the next episode that you do, for the next episode you create, my advice to you is to make the production even better than it already is. Have their mouth, actually have their mouth move, because it's not that difficult to do that. But anyway, yeah, that's going to do it for the critique for this episode, and yeah, we'll see what happens, because I kind of want to include this 2nd episode in this video, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because this video is already on long enough. But anyway, if this is the end of the video, please like, subscribe, share, do those wonderful things, because when you do these wonderful things, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.